Hi, my name is Shooter McGavin and welcome to the Ting in the USA network. Today we are going to change the battery on a BMW Z3 3-liter Roadster. As you can see, we had to push it out of the garage because the battery is dead. So we went and bought a new battery. The Z3 BMW Roadster has its battery in the trunk. Unlike most cars that are in the front, the battery is in the back, as you can see. It's kind of in a tight space, so it's a little hard to remove. When removing any car battery, always remember to disconnect the negative terminal first. And that's what we're doing right here, is disconnecting that negative terminal. Again, it's a tight space, so it's kind of hard to get the right tool in there to get it. And there you go, we got the nut off. Now we're going to pull off the terminal. And there you have it. Next up, we're going to remove the positive terminal. Always remember, when you're removing these terminals, you don't want the positive and the negative to come into contact with each other, as it will short out anything in the car. So let's watch as we remove the positive terminal. Pretty easy. Just loosen the nut. And pull it off. Again, trying not to let the positive and the negative terminals touch each other. And as you can see here, we have both terminals off and clear. Next up, we have to loosen the bolt to remove the battery from the car. So now that we have the battery disconnected, we're going to remove the bolt that holds the battery in place in the back. This proved to be a little more difficult, as there's not a whole lot of space to get the right tool in there. So got out the old socket set and worked on loosening that bolt up, as you can see. Alright, once we got the bolt loose enough, we can then use the screwdriver to complete the task. Pulling the bolt completely out, you can see the bracket that holds the bottom of the battery to the bottom of the car, or the trunk. And then you just grab the handles and pull the battery right out, and there you go. We removed the battery from the car. Time to put the new battery in. So we grab the new battery and we place it in the space. Now we want to make sure that the positive terminal is on the positive side and negative on the negative. So we've got that all lined up. Put that in, making sure it's centered just right. You also want to make sure that the bracket fits correctly and that we have the battery lined up just right. So we're just trying to get that bracket lined up correctly before we connect the terminals. which we want to do before installing the bracket. So before installing the bracket to hold the battery down, we wanted to get we're going to get the positive terminal connected up first. Also, you'll notice that I put the gaseous drain pipe into the side of the battery. It's a little tube that connects into the hole on the side of the battery. So as you can see now, we're working on installing the positive terminal. When you're installing a battery, you always install the positive terminal first and end with the negative terminal, opposite of when you're taking it out. So here we're just trying to get the screw on correctly. Tighten it up. So next up, we're going to attach the negative terminal. As you can see, we're going to place that negative terminal. You attach it to the chassis of the car to act as the ground. So that's what we're going to do first.
Where's the nut?
That nut, make sure that you don't touch the negative terminal to the positive terminal. That's a no-no, as we've said before. So once we get that negative terminal attached to the chassis,
Spark when I put it on.
I noticed as I was attaching these terminals, the battery was rattling around a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put the bracket that holds the battery in next after tightening up this screw. Tighten there. Next we're going to do the bracket. Trying to get that bracket on wasn't quite as easy as it looks, trying to get that in the correct hole and get the battery aligned. Once we did, tighten it up a little bit with the ratchet. And once we get it tight enough, then we can go ahead and tighten it with the screwdriver. Get it nice and tight. Hold that battery in nice and tight so it doesn't slide around. And there you have it. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is finish up the negative terminal. So we place it on the post, grab the screw, tighten that up. Make sure that the other bolt is nice and tight to the chassis.
Picking it up.
And we are done putting the battery in. Okay, now that the battery's all snug in there, all tight and all connected up, let's see if the car is gonna start. Of course, we assume it will. So we'll get in the car. Sure enough, we have a functioning BMW Z3 3-liter Roadster. So if we're going to take it for a drive on such a nice day, let's put the top down. Still got that back trunk open. It catches a little bit, but get it on there. Alright, now that we have the car functioning, let's go ahead and replace the cover for the trunk. Get that all in there.
Voila, you did it.
Close up the trunk, and we're ready to go for a drive. Such a beautiful day. Let's go for a drive. Top down, a little music. Here we go. See you later. Thanks for joining me, Shooter McGavin, on the Ting in the USA Network. Remember to hit that subscribe button if If you enjoy these videos,